Hello there, guys. How are you doing today? I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I'm not going to be my quite peppy self today. So I'm always looking for new shirts so that you guys can say, she was wearing this shirt when she said this, right? Okay, we've got a lot of stuff to get to, though, okay? I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you so much for popping up. Thank you so much for coming. I love you guys. Michael Jackson fans are the best fans in the whole wide world. You guys are so smart. You're so determined. You're so diligent. You're so committed. You're so loyal. It's really wonderful. And you fight for Michael Jackson. And it's just a great thing to experience, okay? Now, let's get to a couple of things. Well, I'm gonna hit the big one at the end, okay? The big ba-boom at the end. There's so much information that's going out there, and can you believe there's still more information going out there? Well, let's start with this fraud. Anybody who knows anything about Dan Greed, the director of the child pornographic film called Leaving Neverland, he is so full of it. We know he's full of it when he has, with a straight face, is going to say it's not about Michael Jackson, okay? That is the most ridiculous thing, and it's a bunch of hogwash. And he also says other stupid things. Where's your evidence? Where's the evidence? And he says, oh, there's soiled underwear. There's a story about soiled underwear. There's not soiled underwear. He also has the gall to lie in our face and say, well, when I double check and I research, the stories were consistent. Did you not watch the 2005 trial or learn anything? Not watch, because there's no cameras in the courtroom, but learn about the 2005 trial and that they said Michael never molested them in 93 and in 2005, and James Sachuk signed a declaration in 93. I mean, what does he really think people are stupid? Okay, here is something that he said. I'm going to turn my camera around. Okay, this is Dan Reed. He said, I was sitting down with a Channel 4 executive in the UK for breakfast one day, and we said, what are the big stories out there that people kind of think they know, but maybe don't really know, and had never sort of been conclusively examined, and Michael Jackson was one of those. Michael Jackson was found not guilty, 14 out of 14 counts. So what does he mean that wasn't conclusive? That's what I'm saying. Dan Reed is a con artist, and he thinks that he's smarter than everybody else, okay? I'm going to play you one of his tricks that he's done. Okay, this is by another fan. And this involves Michael's attorney, Mark Garagos, who was later replaced by Tom Mesereau for the 2005 case. And this involves Michael knowing that he was going to be arrested. A warrant was put out for his arrest in 2004. Or was it 2003? 2003, 2004. And Michael had to fly back. He was filming his One More Chance video. He was in Las Vegas, so he had to fly back to Santa Barbara. Well, he had chartered a jet called ExtraJet, and they had secret recordings, and they recorded him. And so they were mad because they found out about the recording because they were trying to sell it and get some money for it. So Mark Garagos had a press conference about that recording, and that's what he was talking about. So I'm going to turn my camera around and play this for you guys. You guys are so smart finding all this stuff. All right, here's Mark Garagos.
Will land on you like a ton of bricks. We will land on you like a hammer if you do anything to besmirch this man's reputation, anything to intrude on his privacy in any way that's actionable. We will unleash a legal court like you've never seen.
Michael called.
Okay, that's enough. So, what Dan Reed did, the con artist Dan Reed, the trickster, the gun for hire, and I'm going to show you something else too. I want to turn my camera around, okay? I better not do it too many times because My camera gets finicky. I need to just stop being cheap and go get a new camera and say, look, my turnaround button doesn't work as good as I need it to. But anyway, so Dan Greed has he has manipulated that, because in Leaving Neverland, he made it seem like Mark Garagos was threatening the accusers. But he was really talking about, the press conference was about ExtraJet. Michael ended up winning, I believe, a $2.5 million settlement, and the people who did that to him, they went to jail. Because it's illegal. It's attorney-client privilege. It's an invasion of privacy. And they ended up spending jail time. Okay, but Dan Reed wanted to manipulate that as if Mark Garagos, you know, the goons that were protecting Michael Jackson, to try to show that Wade and James were legitimately scared because the big Michael Mean Machine was going to come after the accusers. Okay, so, but that was about ExtraJet, and Mark Garagos is upset, and he said maybe he has a cause of action against them, and I think there's going to be a lot of causes of action against a lot of people who have participated in this fraudulent, frivolous, lying, child pornographic film. And when they find out that this film is totally fabricated, I wonder if they could be charged with child pornography. Because if you're making up a story like this and you are sensationalizing it, talking about kids' butt cheeks being spread, oral sex, okay, anal sex with a child, and you're making it all up and there's no proof that it's true, none whatsoever. Dan Greed also said, well, fact after fact after fact proved their stories were true, when he presented no facts and there aren't any facts. Also, he says he's going to do a follow-up to this. He's hoping to get Gavin Arvizo, who was the 2005 accuser, who was totally ripped to shreds because he wasn't telling the truth. He was lying, and his family were grifters, and they were users, and they had used the system before to say J.C. Penney's molested them, their dad molested them, you know, they welfare fraud. She had did some kind of what we call GoFundMe, but it was some kind of charity drive to get money for her son's cancer when she had full coverage insurance. So they're bad. Anyway, he's saying that he's going to talk to the DA that was in 2005. Oh, the losers? You want to go with the losers that have been proven by a jury of 12 who sat there every day for 13 weeks. Dan Greed is a horrible person. He really is a horrible person. I'm going to show you how horrible he really is. Okay, here we go. This is, I'm going to turn my camera around. Ah, that was nice. This is another video done by Flying Fairy. Okay, Flying Fairy. It's called Leaving Neverland, The Truth Behind the Lies. And I'm going to set this up. This is an interview that Dan Greed did some years ago. And you're going to notice so many similarities in what he's done. I'm going to let it go on for like 3 minutes. Okay, so you guys just bear with me.
I also direct drama. I'm a sort of, at the moment, I'm a bit of a gun for hire.
Gun for hire.
I tend to make films which, in the documentary field, I tend to make films which go behind a big news story or go behind something that has made headlines and try to show the more complex side of it and to try and kind of unpack the hidden truths.
Who pays you to do this?
Well, I'm hired by Channel 4, ITV, HBO, PBS Frontline right now, the BBC. I've worked for all of the UK broadcasters over the last 20 years. Because I'm not part of a quick response team, so I'm hired on a job-by-job basis. And I do the projects that I like and the projects that for some reason turn me on. Now, I got a call, I think it was in January, from an executive producer whom I worked with before, who I like, and he said, Dan, do you fancy going to Mumbai?
Was that executive producer from HBO?
It wasn't. HBO came on a little bit later. This was an exec producer that I'd worked with in the UK years back, and sort of knew me of old, and decided to try and tempt me back into documentary.
When you do this, do they give you, whoever bought this, either Channel 4 here or HBO, do they tell you, here's how much money we're going to give you for this whole thing, and then you have to live within a budget?
Yeah, that's right. You live within the budget. The film's commissioned, so you are cash flowed, if you like, through the production. You don't have to put up your own money. You're cash flowed through, but there's a limited amount of money, and you can't spend more than what you have.
This is the important part that I want you guys to pay attention to.
Where did you get the audio phone conversations between Brother Wasi, who was supposed to be in Pakistan, and these 10 young men that did the killings?
The phone conversations were recorded by 2 intelligence agencies in India, to my knowledge. There was the Intelligence Bureau in New Delhi, in the capital, and then there was a police anti-terrorism unit that made the recordings in Mumbai as well. Exactly how I obtained the recordings I can't tell you, because these are not recordings that were released to us by the authorities. So,
are the authorities upset that you got them?
The authorities were rather upset that I got them, and I mean, we didn't. I believe a summons was issued against Channel 4, or some kind of legal action was threatened by the Mumbai police chief, but it wasn't followed through. And I think, from the Indian point of view, yes, it was upsetting that this material that wasn't supposed to be publicly aired, broadcast, had been given a worldwide audience. But on the other hand, it demonstrated that Pakistan was behind the attack, and that for them was, politically useful, I guess. And so they weren't too upset.
Okay, I'm going to tell you guys, I believe that he probably faked those recordings, because he said, to my knowledge, he never said that they were authentic. He said that, to his knowledge, they came from wherever, and he said, I can't tell you exactly where they came from. I believe he probably made, there's movie magic. Okay, we've seen movies that make us believe all kinds of things, even the most ridiculous things in the world, as if Superman can fly around the earth and change the direction of the axis of the earth and have the earth go backwards, okay, to reverse time. We know that, and in that movie, you're rooting for Superman. Go, Superman, go. So we know that you can do all kinds of things with photographs, with Photoshop, with audio. You can make anything believable. Make anything believable. You can make people look like they're tiny, 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 like the ant, or make people look like giants. You could, aliens invading the earth. All kinds of wonderful things that we can do with artistry that has been invented and created. So I believe, judging Dan Greed by his behavior, that he's capable of falsifying a phone call, a terrorist phone call. Okay? And that wasn't real. So maybe that's why they didn't pursue any charges, because they figured out that it was movie magic and it wasn't real. Okay, that's what I believe, and I'm going to support I'm going to give you a reason why I believe that he's not telling the truth. Okay, something last night, I call it a daymare instead of a nightmare, but it wasn't daytime, so a woke mare. I just had this thought, and it scared the crap out of me. Okay, guys, and I just thought, I've already talked about this, but we need to talk about this some more. This is the fraudulent Dan Reed and his movie magic. Okay, we've learned that somebody, what is her name? I think her name is Monsto Desire. I believe she's the one that sent this to me, or Kelly Lockhouse. Somebody sent it to me. But anyway, remember, why was Hitler in Leaving Neverland? And this looks like the back of Michael's neck, right? Then somebody else, this person here, Stop Leaving Neverland Now, on Twitter, they put together two pictures, and this is the same guy. We talked about this, right? This is the same guy, and it's not Michael Jackson. Look at the nose, look at the chin. This is not Michael Jackson. This is an impersonator. This is not Michael Jackson. So why did he put these in the film? There had to be a reason. I'm a documentary filmmaker. So you put things in there on purpose. This didn't just pop up in there. It's not just like a wrong word. This was deliberately put into this film. So I'm thinking, Dan is very comfortable and he's very cocky. And I'm thinking that he thinks he has some smoking gun. And with the smoking gun, put this here. I want to continue. With the smoking gun, is he capable of creating a salacious scene with an impersonator and Michael and a child and cut it in such a way and then say, oh, somebody mailed it to me. Somebody just sent it to me. Okay, so I need all of you guys to subscribe and to share this video, because I was just scared last night thinking that he is capable of using an impersonator, because this was a test to see if we would catch that it was an impersonator. That's what I believe. And if he passed, and if we didn't notice this, he underestimated Michael Jackson fans, okay? If we did not notice this, then he was going to go and create an entire sexual scene and cut it in such a way to where we think that this is really Michael Jackson and a kid. Because we need to share this, we need to expose it, we need to let him know that if you thinking about doing something like that, Mr. Dan Greed, you got another thing coming. Okay, you got another thing coming, because right now that lawsuit is going to get you so bad. And there's more lawsuits to come from other people as well. The French fans have already sued for emotional distress. And I'm thinking about asking some fans here if we want to do a class action suit against it as well, because I was forced to watch that because of my job, and it was the worst 4 hours of my life. Okay? Besides somebody dying. Okay? The worst, let me be clear. The worst 4 hours of watching television in my entire life. I'll be clear on that, because of the filth that I had to subject myself to. Because I remember another well-known Michael Jackson journalist was questioned, and they said, did you watch the film? And he said no. And instantly you lose some credibility when you don't watch it. So I can say, yes, I watched the film, but I refuse to watch it again. And I'm so glad you fans have found this stuff, because I cannot subject myself to that absolute disgusting child pornography film where grown men are talking about another man having sex with them when they were children. And it's all made up, and we know it's made up because we have caught them in huge big whoppers to where Dan Greed had to edit out 45 minutes of it because it is shorter now. Okay? A side note, Russian TV did not air it, but Russian TV did stream it. It is online somewhere with Russian TV, which they shouldn't have even participated, but at least they decided not to air it, so that's a good thing. There was other stuff that I want to talk to you guys about, okay? As far as Dan, another, I'm going to turn my camera around, another fraud that Dan in Leaving Neverland. You fans are so smart. You are so smart, and I'm so proud of you. Here's another fan, and she's talking about how they said that in Michael's theater there was a one-way mirror. Okay, and another easily debunked abuse claim by Safechuck. One-way glass. Hey, dip poo-poo, not from this angle, looks pretty transparent to me, and foiled by something from MJ's interview with Oprah the pig. Oh gosh, I'm just reading it again. These idiots can never cover their own tracks and get screwed up by themselves. Okay, so Safechuck is saying that there was a two-way mirror. It was a one-way mirror, so that you could only see one way. Well, here we go. Didn't Safe Chuck say MJ abused him in the bedroom in the movie theater and nobody can see because of the one-way glass? This shot was from Oprah's interview in 93 at the time of the alleged abuse. Shows it is a two-way glass. See, this is the kind of stuff that they don't think fans is going to catch. They completely and thoroughly underestimated Michael Jackson's fans. Okay, so we got that. Wade Robson is a complete copycat of Michael. Look at this. Okay, this is from Michael Jackson, the Ebony shoot. I think it was like 2007, 2008. And this is Wade Robson, just copying Michael. You know, there's a whole bunch of these where he's just copying Michael, and he also has the cane as well. Wade is going around. Now he did a TMZ little catch you at the airport little interview from the paparazzi, and doesn't seem like he's upset to me at all. As a matter of fact, he seemed like one of the happiest people on the planet because now he has his fame. Maybe because he wanted fame, and now he's a household name. And he's like, oh, you don't have to mute Michael's music if you don't want to. That's exactly what you're trying to do. You wanted to disgust Michael Jackson because you were so salacious in your details that people wouldn't want to listen to Michael's music. Well, people do want to listen to Michael's music, but you will pay a price for this, Wade Robson. You will pay a price for this because statues are coming down. There was one in Amsterdam they're thinking about taking down. Child museums taking Michael's stuff down. We already talked about Louis Vuitton not including Michael in their fashion shows. We are talking about The Simpsons. We are talking about, like I said, the Children's Museum. We're talking about Starbucks and the Lakers. These are big, gigantic things that you, with your lies, you and James Safechuck with your lies. And another fan did a thorough research and couldn't find James ever wearing a ring ever. Okay, and she looked and looked and looked for like a day, and the only jewelry she can find him wearing is a bracelet, and he never mentioned a bracelet. Okay, so none of this stuff that they're saying can be proven to be true. There is zero evidence, zero facts, even though Dan Reed said the evidence is there. There's no evidence, fact by fact. There's no facts. There's just two men talking. And slick gun for hire, Dan Reed, weaving it into something to where he has the family members there to co-sign, but they didn't see nothing. Even James's mother, Stephanie, said one time they were playing somewhere and she listened outside the door and she didn't hear anything suspicious, just like two friends hanging out. So nobody saw anything. And there's so many lies and inconsistencies. You boys are going down. You boys are going down, all three of you guys. Here's another photo of Michael, okay, during the time that they said that Michael Jackson was molesting them. Look at the color of Michael's face versus the color of Michael's hand. This is his vitiligo. So there is no way that they wouldn't have noticed Michael's spotted face and spotted body, spotted penis, just being spotted completely. Look at that. Look at the difference in the color. Somebody sent this to me. I'm sorry, I don't remember who you are, but thank you so much. Okay. When they did not mention Michael's spotted body, that lets you know they never saw Michael naked. They never did. And it's all a whole bunch of lies, and it's horrible that this is happening. Okay. Let's see what else I have here. Oh, this lie. So now everybody's jumping on you can't defame the dead. You can't defame the dead BS, right? And there was a story by somebody who is like a movie producer or video producer. And he decided that he's going to join in as well. And he said, this is him telling about something that he thinks he knows about. Joe Jackson, he put the 4-year-old Michael Jackson on a hot stovetop barefoot. Dolezal said. Dolezal, I think that was that white girl who said she was black and NAACP and, oh, remember that? But anyway, somebody else. I think his name is, this guy's name is Rudy Dolezal. The way he told it, it was not regretting it. I felt sorry for Michael. So we all saw American Dream, where the Jackson family supported it, and Jermaine was one of the producers on it. And Michael wanted to join the group. Joe kept telling him he was too little until Michael was 5 years old and he sang in the talent show. And then Michael was able to join the group because his talent was so good, and he joined the group basically as a singer at first. So at 4 years old, Michael was not singing, dancing. Joe did not even allow Michael to do it. Catherine had not talked Joe into being their manager yet. But this is the kind of nonsense that's out there. And rest in peace, Papa Joe. Okay. There's more stuff. Okay. There's Paris's stuff. And then I want to go over with you how the bull crap about how Wade and James said they didn't know it was wrong. Okay. This is from Robson's testimony in 2005. Okay. This is Ron Zonin on cross-examination and asking very specific questions of Wade Robson. And Zonin is the one that refused to file perjury charges against Wade and James when the lawsuit became public in 2013, and that's when you start counting down the perjury, the 3 to 4 year perjury statute of limitations. Not in 2005, because we didn't know that they were going to recant their statement. They told the truth under oath. They're telling lies now because the lies are not under oath. It's just a movie. Okay. Zonin, Mr. Jackson, Zonin says, Mr. Jackson would periodically kiss you. Robeson, no. Zonin, periodically hug you. Robeson, yes. Zonin, touch you. Robson, hug me. Zonin, did he ever kiss your lips? No. Zonin, on occasion you stayed in bed with Mr. Jackson. Would you ever cuddle in bed? Robson, no. Would you lie next to one another? Robson, no. Would you touch? No. Okay, so it's like a kid falling asleep at the bottom of the bed because they were watching movies and having a slumber party. Now, also another lie is them going to Neverland, being at Neverland. I believe it was the mother's testimony of Wade Robson or Jamie Sefchuk. I can't keep it up. But anyway, I think it was the Robesons, and it was Joy. She said they went to Neverland 14 times, but Michael was only there 4 times. And Michael was only there 4 times because Michael spent a lot of the early 90s at Trump Tower. And Michael was touring. Michael wasn't home that much. So all this hundreds of times at Neverland, you only saw Michael there 4 times, according to your mother in the claim. And then how you guys, there's emails back and forth of how they were making up stuff, collaborating. It's a conspiracy. Okay, so it was like when the kids fell asleep in Michael's bed, Michael would get up and get on the floor because his back hurt. Or the bed was like bigger than a California king, a huge bed. The kid would be way on the other side, maybe at the bottom of the bed. Michael would be, I don't know, at the top of the bed. Another kid would be there, another kid. It was just a slumber party. And I know 99 out of 100 times, maybe that is pedophilic behavior, but Michael is the one time that it is not, because we have nothing but extortionists that want to get paid, because Michael was foolishly talked into paying that money out of his insurance settlement to pay the $20 million. So now all they have to do is lie, and they think that they can finance their projects. They'll be rich forever. The mother, James Safechuck's family, could be out of debt because they were being sued. So this is all just malarkey for money. For money. Okay, here's another picture of Michael Jackson. Okay, Ebony Jet. Look at his hands and his face. His face is light because he has makeup on. Look at that difference. So this is the time that they said that they were being molested hundreds of times. Michael was changing colors. And there's no way that you could see his body, his penis, or anything. Michael even said in the 93 statement that they took pictures of him more than once, twice, like I told you guys. And he said they were looking for spots on his body. So they're confirming that he had vitiligo. That was said in the 2005 trial. I remember it distinctly. Okay, so I'm telling me my phone is getting warm. Okay, so let me turn this around. I'm going to turn this around. Turn my camera around. Oops, continue broadcasting. Turn my camera. I don't want you guys to see my messy desk. Okay. Yeah, I want to continue broadcasting. Yes. Okay, I think it's okay. I got to put my phone in front of my my fan. Okay, so and we've learned other things too. Let me see. Paris, okay. Paparazzi got her coming out of an apartment. She no longer lives in the Malibu house, guys. She lives in an apartment. I think it's somewhere near the valley, because her and her boyfriend, and I knew she was in love with that boy. I knew she was in love with that boy when they were at Austin Brown's. She don't hang with Austin that much no more, huh? After that Eagles little debacle where they went to the Eagles concert after Michael lost being the #1 best-selling album, RIAA, and they went to that concert. I haven't seen them together too much more after that, but Paris and Austin were real close, so maybe they'll let us know that they're fine, okay? But I just haven't seen it. But anyway, Austin did a charity event for cancer because his dad died from cancer. And Paris looked at that boy. Ooh, man, that was goo-goo eyes. I was like, girl, that girl is in love with that boy. I knew it from the beginning. And then, because people thought she was gay, and she's saying she's gay, and she's supposed to have a girlfriend. Then she posted a picture like that's her pin picture where she's trying to say, I look at everybody like that. Look, I'm looking at my cousin Austin like that. Nah, honey, that wasn't the same look. That look when you like that boy, what's his name, Glenn or something? When you looked at that boy, girl, it came from deep down inside of the middle of the heart, where I was like, ooh, Paris likes that boy. Anyway, so she lives in an apartment now, and they went to Universal Studios to the movies, so paparazzi followed them. And I have seen Paris many times, not many times. I just saw her at Grauman's Chinese Theater years ago. But anyway, Paris has been very, very active, leaving us clues. And at that same Austin event, which was after she said, I don't know who this Peter guy is, right? He's crazy. And okay, whatever. Of course you could say that, and I believe, watch my Alive 3, I show evidence that I believe a guy named Peter Medani, aka Bobby Anderson, is Michael Joe Jackson. That's what I believe. And I give you evidence and proof, and his connections to make his family do things, his connection to make the estate do things, the similarity in the voices. And I also do have a video where I tell you he put something up in his palate that the CIA uses here to disguise your voice, so it messes with your pronunciation. Well, anyway, after she did that, then she was at that same event with Katherine Jackson wearing a butterfly, which was to tell us, because what do I put in like all my DVDs, whether it's a sticker or it's and I got all kinds of sizes, shapes, different types of butterflies that I include in it, because Michael's butterfly song is for a new beginning. And if you watch the Alive trilogy, Michael has a lot of symbolisms, like the ink symbol, symbol for everlasting life that Michael wore during This Is It to tell us life after death. Michael used a lot of symbolisms. Well, anyway, Paris had Catherine wore a butterfly necklace that day, okay, which was a wink, wink, nod, nod to us believers. So she always sends us wink, wink, nod, nods. Okay. Now, she had also said in one of her tweets, and I was looking for that tweet, and I don't know what I did with that tweet. Oh, I got to bring this up. Okay, I got to finish this. Don't let me forget Carl O'Reilly. I got to tell you about Carl O'Reilly. I'm skipping around, but... So she had said something like, if it was me, I wouldn't sit idly by and just watch somebody crucify my legacy. It's one of her, let me see if I can pull it up on Twitter real quick so that I am not ad-libbing, so that I can say the same thing, because Paris hasn't really tweeted very much lately since her supposed second reported suicide attempt. Right? She also showed the paparazzi that her arm was not slit. Now, this is supposed to come from a police report, but she's saying it's not true. But the police and fire department ended up at her apartment Okay, so who knows what happened, okay? But she's been dealing with a lot of stuff. She's saying this week has been crazy and she's sick of it. But anyway, she had tweeted something that I thought that was very, very telling. So I am looking for it now. Where is it, girl? Don't tell me you deleted it, because I know I should have saved it. I know I would have saved it. I would have saved it. There's no way I would have let you get away with that one and not bring it up. I'm looking for it right now, guys, and when I find it, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Come on, come on. Oh, I know you guys have it. I know you guys have it. I know it's out there. I usually have stuff up, but I'm not feeling so good today. Kind of a little under the weather. Oh, his name is Gabriel Glenn. That's the boyfriend's name, Gabriel Bren. She said, how could you sit back and just let this happen and do something about it? And then soon after that was the announcement of the apparent suicide attempt. I couldn't find it right now. I'll post it, a link to it, or I'll post it underneath once I find it. And she was, so was that a wink, wink, nod, nod that Michael should do something about it? Because, like I told you guys, I have been looking for nearly 10 years for proof that Michael's dead. There isn't any. So, of course, always, please, if you haven't ordered it, the Alive trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries on Amazon, please do. I promise you it's worth your time. I promise you it's worth your time. And I have enough information for an Alive 4. Okay, that I can't find anything that proves that Michael's dead. And Paris has been so great at leaving us so many clues, and so has Prince. So you guys need to just watch it. And I know many of you guys have watched it, and the people that have watched it has watched it several times. Okay, so anyway, so here is Paris giving us another wink, wink, nod, nod. Okay. Yep, look at that. She's wearing butterflies. That's always for us believers. She's wearing butterflies, and I thank the fans so much for sending this to me. I thank you so much for sending this to me. Okay? So, and now let's go back and circle around. Okay, this is where I'm going to end it, because I think I've talked about everything. Oh no, I have a few more things that I have to bring up. Okay, this is Carl O'Reilly. Okay, and I'm not sure what year. Carl O'Reilly is a really good impersonator, and I know him. When I went to the Scream event, I was sitting with the Jacksons, and then what's his name, Nick Cannon, wanted to sit with the Jacksons, so I moved and I sat next to Carl O'Reilly, and I've been seeing Carl O'Reilly for years. He's a really good impersonator. But this is him, May 16th. I think it was last year or the year before. I couldn't find a year. A fan posted this. He said, once again, I have been asked to appear as MJ for a photo shoot to make it look like he was harming children. They are willing to pay me a lot of money to do so because they want to publish the photos claiming it's really him and tarnish MJ's legacy. I would never do so, and I am so disgusted that I am continually asked to do such things. Sad part is some tribute will do it for the money. Oh my God. What did I tell you guys about Dan Reed? And that is an impersonator that's in Leaving Neverland. So what else has Dan Reed really done? And is he saying that he's going to do a part 2 and a follow-up, and he's going to include some fraudulent footage? Because after all, you can't defame the dead. But you know what? Michael's not dead. He's not dead. Nothing proves that Michael is dead. Nothing. The Conrad Murray trial doesn't prove it. Listen to the Conrad Murray verdict. There's no record of him anywhere. There's no legitimate record of Michael Joe Jackson being dead anywhere. Okay, he said, I did speak with friends who are in law enforcement, which said nothing can be done as no actual crime has occurred yet. The estate and others have been notified, as well as TMZ, and as that is likely the source that would buy something like that. Okay, so we got an impersonator saying that, there's people going out there and they want to make Michael Jackson look guilty, and they want him to be with children. So I believe, so you guys share this video, doggone it, Share this video so that Dan Greed learns that you don't mess with Michael Jackson fans, doggone it. You don't do it. Okay, guys? Now, Mike Tyson. Thank you, Neo, for supporting Michael. And Rodney Jerkins for supporting Michael. And, of course, Jonathan Moffat for supporting Michael. And a lot of other people for supporting Michael. But Mike Tyson, who was convicted of rape, had the nerve to say on Black America Web that his kids can't hang out at Michael Jackson's house. You got your nerve to, I love Michael, but he can't be around my kids. Well, maybe you shouldn't be around women at all, ever, since you're a convicted rapist. Michael has not been convicted. As a matter of fact, Michael was tried, Mike Tyson, and found completely innocent, 14 out of 14 counts. Okay, and the other one, the 93, he pretty much litigated that in 96 and 98. He litigated it by suing for a videotape that this Victor Gutierrez said that existed of Michael having sex with a child, oral sex with a child. Michael said, bring the tape. It didn't exist. That Jordy Chandler wrote a diary with all these salacious details in it that didn't exist. Michael ended up winning $2.7 million. Michael also sued the Neverland Five, who sued Michael for wrongful termination. Michael turned around and countersued because they were selling stories to tabloids. They were stealing from him. Okay? He ended up winning. They lost in their suit, and Michael ended up winning the countersuit for $1.4 million. So whenever you sue someone, there's a such thing called discovery. And in discovery, anything that pertains to getting to the truth of the matter can be subpoenaed, can be used. So it's like an investigation. So if Michael really believed that he was guilty in 93, or he was guilty in 93, Michael finally had it. That's why I love the song This Time Around, that I believe was in 95. Okay, that he was going to fight back. And Michael fought back. So the 93 case was litigated. It was litigated. Because there was no videotape, and all those rumors that Victor Gutierrez, which is in this horrible book, is used in Leaving Neverland because they think they can't defame the dead. Okay? Michael Jackson is not dead. And if anybody has some proof to tell me that Michael Jackson is dead, I'm willing to look at it. I swear to God. Don't send me a death certificate in the wrong name. Don't send me an autopsy report in the wrong name when the coroner has lied and said that he named and identified the body with a driver's license where the DMV told me there's no driver's license that has ever existed in the name of Michael Joseph Jackson. Okay, I've looked. Forrest Line has stated to me and many fans that we don't have Michael's body. We've never had it. That is different from not saying they don't tell what celebrities are buried there. That's a different statement. There is still no name on the grave, and I have a written statement by an employee of Forrest Lawn saying they could not find Michael's name in their database, and they have an internal database. Okay? UCLA has no record of Michael Jackson being there. Jermaine announced his brother dead. That body was admitted under the name of Soleil Sean. 911 call does not mention any name. Okay, so I have been looking, and people will say, oh, because of this, do you think that you changed your mind that Michael's alive? No, because nothing that proves he's not dead has changed. Alleged victim, alleged date in the Conrad Murray case. Conrad Murray said when he returned from the bathroom, the body didn't look the same. There's a lot more that I'll put in the body. It was not the same body that he saw. So Conrad Murray has, on camera, has admitted that it was a different body on Dr. Drew. It was a different face on Dr. Drew before the ambulance arrived. And the ambulance said they thought it was an old white hospice patient who had been suffering a long illness. Propofol is used in chronic freezing. But please watch my documentaries. I promise you, you will be on the edge of your seat going, oh my God. Because the media cherry picks what information they want to tell you. So if you just get your information from the big 6 media companies, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Okay? And we can do our own research. We live in the age of information. We can do our own research. Okay? Let's see. Yeah, Dan can be very, very sinister. The poor elephant that I think the elephant Liz Taylor gave Michael had a little toothache. problems with his tooth, with his tusk. Let's see what else. I told you about Madame Tussauds in the Amsterdam, the Netherlands, thinking about taking down her Michael statue. Well, Madame Tussauds, you got one here in Hollywood too, and don't you touch it. Okay, until Michael is proven guilty, until we have something solid. And we are already on the lookout for a fake, fraudulent videotape that movie magic can make happen using an impersonator. We got an impersonator statement saying he was asked to do that thing, do stuff like that. And we also have Dan Reed using an impersonator in Leaving Neverland. Okay, so we got to be real careful. Yeah, Dan Reed is a gun for hire. And I really do wonder if he called the lawyers for Wade and James first, or did they call him? I really wonder that. Let's see. I think I have everything. I think I went through everything. I went through all my notes. Oh, Dan Reed, another BS that he gives, he says, well, in another interview he said, well, maybe Michael didn't think having sex with a little boy was wrong. Maybe he thought it was loving and caring. But Wade and James are saying the whole time that Michael told him, if we ever get caught, we're both going to jail. I mean, it's so many contradictions and so much BS. It really should be against the law. And that can't defame the dead. That should not be a law. It shouldn't, because if there is a legacy and people are still loving this person and his legacy is still making money, he can be defamed. He can. A legacy can be defamed, and that needs to be argued in court, and that law needs to be changed. Let's see. I think I went through everything. Okay, I went through everything, guys. So don't forget, go on my website, michaeljacksoninsider.com, and you can see me with many Jackson family members. I try not to be too much in their face, because it's a, wink, wink, nod, nod. Okay. So anyway, guys, I love you guys. You're doing a great job. And I will read that 245-page legal document, and I will do a video on it soon. Okay. I haven't downloaded it yet, and I'm going to have to pay for it, so I will do that hopefully within the next couple of days. And I checked the website earlier, the lacourt.org website, and there were no new dates or no new information. But I will get back with you guys really soon. And you guys are doing such a great job. And Michael is so proud of you. So proud of you. See you next time. Bye-bye.